told me that her sister does this all the time and she wishes she would stop her.
So this sentencing starts with a defendant who already entered a guilty plea, but when it comes time to speak, she does not seem ready to take responsibility for much of anything. Watch how Judge O'Donnell works through her explanation and compares it to the record that's in front of him. My name is Dan. This is the Courtroom Files.
Ms. Cole?
Thank you, Your Honor. We're here on the State of Ohio versus Catherine Harris, case number 26-CR167. The defendant is present with counsel Jim Matthews. We were last here on April 8th, 2026, where the defendant pled guilty to amended count 1 of the indictment, attempted illegal conveyance of drugs of abuse onto the grounds of a specified governmental facility, a felony of the 4th degree with a forfeiture specification. Count 2, possession of cocaine, a felony of the 5th degree. Count 6, tampering with records, amended to include the dates August 5th, 2025 through August 12th, 2025, as well as the initial dates. And amended count 7, identity fraud, a felony of the 5th degree, also amended to include the dates August 5th, 2025 through August 12th, 2025, in addition to the initial dates, and we are here today for sentencing.
Thank you. Mr. Matthews?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Harris is requesting to be placed on community control. As the court is aware, she is currently on community control in Cuyahoga County. Initially, the plan in Cuyahoga County was for her to attend the CBCF, but unfortunately, due to her medical issues, she was denied entry. We are hopeful that the court will place her on community control here. Perhaps she could even be supervised by Cuyahoga County, as that's more where she resides. She does have a number of concerns regarding her medical issues. She has experienced a couple of blood sugar drops in the jail, indicated that she was becoming very dizzy, sweating. She does have a number of medical appointments that she needs to get to, and is hoping that the court will fashion a sentence, Your Honor, that allows her to continue with her medical treatment with her existing team of doctors and maintain some sort of regulation over all of those issues on the outside. And she has a pacemaker. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Harris, what do you want to tell me before I sentence you?
I would like to apologize to the courts. I hold full responsibility for my actions.
What actions are you taking responsibility for?
The charges that was brought upon me.
All right. Well, you indicate in this pre-sentence report that you really didn't do anything. That you didn't know anything about those drugs that were taken into the jail beyond the blood pressure medication. That you had permission to have your sister's cards. That you
Those were my cards.
And so you didn't really do anything wrong. So what is it you're taking responsibility for?
Your Honor, those were my cards.
Do they have your sister's name on them?
No, they had my name on them, Catherine Harris. I just used my sister's name when I was spoken to at Walmart. As far as the drugs, Your Honor, that was my propofol. I take that for my high blood pressure.
That was in that purse, right?
Yes.
That you said belonged to your sister, right?
My blood pressure pill was in a bag.
Right. In the purse?
Ziploc bag. Yeah, I put it in the side of the purse because I got the purse out because I didn't want nobody to just look in that thing. Money was in there, and I think it was a piece of pipe.
Right.
Like they say cocaine residue was on it, like a piece of glass from a pipe. I don't do drugs, Your Honor.
All right. Well, before you put the blood pressure medication in the purse, where did you have it?
In my pocket.
Okay, why did you take it out of your pocket?
Because when I got out to use the bathroom to go in, when I sat down on the toilet, you know, I didn't want it to fall out, so I just stuck it like on the side of the pocket purse.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I take
who
that now.
was it that that you went to Walmart with that day?
It was my sister.
What sister? What's her name?
Cassandra and her boyfriend. Yeah, and I stayed in the car because I wasn't feeling good, and I was just asking them what was taking so long, and they was like, well, we done.
Where is Cassandra now?
She's in Alabama.
What was she doing at Walmart that day?
Well, they came up here to visit. They was relative had a funeral. They came to
Okay,
visit.
and then they just-
I had a previous incident with that store. I don't even go in there, but they was taking too long, and then the officer said that the lady said that I had to show receipts, and I kept calling them and nobody answered, and they left me, and they said, we need the bags, and I gave it back to them. I didn't want no problem.
Why did they give you the bags to take?
When I
those
came
bags?
in the store, I met them to see what was taking them so long, and they had their buggy with the bags. So they was like, we done, we gotta go back and get something else.
Where did they go?
They said they had to get some school supplies, so I took the bags onto the car. And when I went back to the store, see, the officer was coming towards me, and he said, the young lady said, I didn't have a receipt, but I had spoke to the officer and was talking to the officer on my way out, and he was like, we need the bags. I said, sure. And I gave it to him. I'm like, they need to call them, told them they needed the receipt, and nobody answered. And the security lady said, your ride has left you. They left me.
Where'd they go?
They left me at the store. Where they went, I don't know. After that, they just left me at the store. Yeah.
You ever done this before, used Cassandra's name?
Once, but I did it because I was pretty mad, Your Honor. I'm not gonna lie, I was mad because I felt like I was a fall guy in this. I know people do a lot of things. I have done a lot of things in my life, and I got my life. I turned it around and
So had you ever done that before, used her name?
used Cassandra's name.
Yeah.
I think so.
You think so, or you did?
I don't. Yeah, Cassandra, I used her name. Yeah.
Right. Why did you use her name this time?
I just thought they wanted to talk to me,
Who?
about the people at Walmart.
Okay, but why did you?
Oh, because they left me and put me in, they set me up for that. They left me. They wouldn't answer the phone and bring their receipt. I know.
I'm trying to figure out why you pled guilty if you didn't do anything wrong.
Because I felt like that was the way that I can get my case over, listening to my attorney. He said that's the best thing for me to do. That's what Mr. Matthews.
Well, if you had done these things, that was a pretty good result, pretty good resolution of the case, if you had done these things. Problem is, you're insisting you didn't do these things.
No, I was, but I don't know how to put it.
Huh?
I don't know how to put it. Yes, I did push that buggy out that store. I sure did. But when they said they needed a receipt and I didn't go in there and get anything, I gave them their bags back because.
Where were you living between the summer of '09 and the summer of '23?
09 and 23.
Yeah.
Back and forth from Alabama to Cleveland. The 2023, I was here in Ohio.
Right. You were in Willoughby Court for a theft.
Yes.
What did you do on that? What was that theft?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I had a problem with that once before. That's why I didn't go in that store.
I know. What you stole from Walmart?
We went through the checkout line.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and a couple things that we didn't pay for.
Who's we?
Oh, some friends that I used to hang with that I don't see anymore.
What about this robbery and drug possession in Cuyahoga County that you're on probation for? What happened there?
I gamble a lot. That's my problem, and I never robbed nobody, Your Honor. They had it. The CMHH police put it like a robbery. Somebody said I took $40 from this lady, and there's a lot of people. I help out when I got it, and when I don't give it to them, they do a lot of things to me. Just like over here in this jail, I've been through so much in this jail till I feel like you just sentence me to death. That's just how I feel right now.
So why did they charge you with robbery? Why did you plead? Did you plead guilty in that case?
I don't
Or did
know.
you go to trial?
I didn't go to trial, no.
So you pled guilty to robbery?
Yes, I did. That's how I was trying to get it over with.
So what happened? What was the robbery?
The girl owed me $20, and she was hesitating to give it to me, and my Uber ride was waiting for me. As I sort of like got, you know, as she was trying to give me the money, I was like, hurry up. So I got the wallet and got my own $20. And I see on there they said 40, but it was 20. And then I left with her boyfriend. They do drugs. The boyfriend or the nephew, whatever, pushed her up to say that. I'm in the apartment gambling, and I'm outside talking to CMHH police that they robbing me while I'm in there, you know. But no, it was, I ain't that bad. No.
What was the drug possession? What did you have?
It was a garbage. It was some garbage that they looked through the, I don't know what it was. I didn't even see it. It was
Whose
a lot
apartment was it?
It was my friend's boyfriend.
What? So you didn't do anything on that?
I'm talking about the what now?
Well, you were, from what I can tell, you pled guilty to robbery and drug possession in Cuyahoga County.
Yes.
Okay. So what you're telling me is you didn't commit the robbery and you didn't have any drugs. It was in a garbage can in the apartment that wasn't yours.
It wasn't in the garbage can. It was like when they cleaned the table off in a small
Why did they charge you with that?
Because when they came in, I had the garbage in my hand. You know, we cleaned the table off to get the table clean to play cards. And they picked the bag up and started looking. It was, I don't know what was in it, but they said it was drugs. And like I said, listening to my attorney, I wanted to do a trial, but they said it would be bringing them in, you know. Listening to attorneys, just wanted it over with. My life is not like that.
Well, it looks like it's like that for the last few years.
I mean, I could say I've had a little bumps and bruises the last few years because my kids got grown, moved out, had too much free time, and started going back to the old crowd, and, you know, and...
Was there Ms. Knaus, was there a victim impact statement received from Cassandra?
There was not, Your Honor. She did call me.
Did you speak with her?
I did.
What did she tell you?
She asked if she had to complete the statement, and I told her she did not, and then she told me that her sister does this all the time, and she wishes we would stop her.
My sister didn't tell me that. She told me that you guys was trying to get her to press charges on me, and she didn't want to. And that
What two guys?
I don't know who she spoke to, but she told me that they kept calling her and saying.
Well, they didn't press She didn't press charges on you. The police arrested you and charged you.
I know. She said that they was calling her to press charges on me, getting her to press charge on me. And she said she told them no, she didn't want to do that.
Okay.
When they sent her the package and stuff.
What?
She said they sent her a package.
When did you talk to her?
I talk to my sister all the time.
Did you? How did they discover that you were actually Catherine Harris instead of Cassandra? Do you know?
I don't know.
Well, did Cassandra call you, or did you call Cassandra when you were in the Cuyahoga County Jail?
No.
What are one of the names Cassandra goes by?
Dee Dee.
What else?
Jacqueline.
Is it Lele?
No, I'm Lele.
You're Lele. I see. I get confused. I get confused because you're Catherine, right?
I'm
You're not
Catherine.
Cassandra. Okay. Okay. So that's how they figured out you weren't Cassandra.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say you think you might have done this once before.
No, I used my sister Cassandra's name.
Okay.
Well, I apologize. Like I said, I went towards the wrong direction. I've been doing so good in my life, especially when I found out I had this heart trouble and stuff. Like I said, I was just angry.
Why are you causing such a ruckus in the jail all the time?
See, that's what I'm about to get to. I'm not causing ruckus in the jail, Your Honor. I'm a peacemaker. I don't care what my background show. I'm a peacemaker. You got people in jail. We got to live together because we all housed together. You got some people in a group that want to take control over TVs, tablets, and when I get to saying stuff like share, they get mad and secret kite me.
Well, I mean, there's simple things that you just won't comply with.
What is that? I
Well,
comply with any and everything. I give them the utmost respect.
March 6th, you were charged with you were locked down for 23 hours because you weren't ready for the head count.
I had just got to jail and I didn't know how it went. You notice every time I'm locked down, it's about Anderson. I mean, for nothing. I don't even, Sergeant C.O. Anderson, I don't even know why I be getting moved from different cells. People do different, you got inmates, jail, you surrounded by different type of
I know,
people.
but you got 1, 2, 3, 4,
Seven.
5, 6 different things on here.
Right, and that tablets,
See,
TV, the
you-
sergeant.
Usually if I have a sentencing and there's 1, that's unusual. You got 6.
It's not my fault, Your Honor.
I know nothing's your fault.
Yeah, I mean, it's my, only, sir, when I talk biblical to people like get along and let's share, we gotta live together, these people get mad and then they write secret
Well, then
kites
quit
at night.
talking to them about the stuff. If they don't
Because
wanna
we-
hear
okay.
it, why are you talking to them about it?
Because you got black and white. That's simple. Black and white. Let me just say it then. It's simple. We got black people and we got white people in the jail. The white people want control over everything. They want power over everything. And when I speak up for us, you know, let us watch TV. Let us watch what we want to watch. Let us use the tablet. When they get up in the morning time, they grab 2 and 3 tablets for their friends. We don't have a tablet. You know, they say we all agree to watch a TV program. We can't watch TV. You know, it's not like I'm taking it a racial thing or that, but it's always about them. You know, we have other inmates in jail. Let us do something. Let's all come together, you know, and get an understanding of who can watch what, who can do this. Kite, like Sergeant said, it's stupid. You know, Sergeant, whenever he said it's only about TVs and tablets, and, you know, I can't just, these are young kids, you know, they group up. They in a group. They want to table all night with voices echoing, you know, and I don't want to look at it like it's a racial thing, but let me say this here. I've been through hell in that jail for no reason. I've been through hell in that jail for people writing kites on me, by me respecting them, telling them words of encouragement.
What did you, what was the drug that you had, that you were charged with the conveyance with?
Okay, it was a piece of glass pipe.
What else? Was there anything else?
It was they said a Suboxone strip.
All right, where was that located?
The Suboxone strip was in between my credit cards, in between my cards,
In the shoe?
in my shoe. Those was
What
my.
was it?
I had no purse. It was my business was in there because I had just left the hospital and I had all my stuff in my shoe. And like I said,
Where'd you get the Suboxone from?
I got it. I think it from a guy just being around people saying, "Let me get one of them." You
For
know?
what?
Huh?
For what? Why would he give you a Suboxone?
I don't know. People take Suboxone, I think, and I was
Why
on
do
because
they
I be
take-
around a lot of white girls that do heroin, and I would have probably gave it to them. I don't do drugs, Your Honor.
Well, if you don't do drugs, what are you doing with drugs?
I didn't have but my pill and that Suboxone, that
Right,
little.
Suboxone's a drug that you didn't, that you just can't, you can't have Suboxone unless it's prescribed.
Like I
What?
said, I be around people that do these, and I
Well,
have.
why would you, if somebody gives you how did you know it was Suboxone?
How did I know what it was?
Yeah.
Because all the people that I be around, they do
Why are
heroin.
you, if you don't do drugs, why are you hanging around people who do drugs?
They be in the vicinity where we be at gambling, in the high rise,
Where?
on Wade Park.
Right.
Yeah, I play a lot of poker and tongue.
So if
But with
if you
my
don't,
condition, I don't-
if you don't do drugs and somebody gives you drugs, why did you take the drugs?
I took the Suboxone, like I said, I'd be around girls that do heroin,
Right.
and I know they be talking about Suboxone, and I would have gave it to them. I,
You were just gonna give it to somebody else?
yes.
Whew.
I don't do drugs.
Well, you,
My conditions, I don't even do marijuana. With my pacemaker and my diabetes, I stopped that. The only thing I do is I like to play cards, I like to play poker. Like like I said, I did the wrong way of going back when my boys left home, but my life has been good. You know, I've had an excellent, I've been stable. I don't have a hunky-dory past,
so why does Cassandra tell Miss Canals that you you keep doing this, you keep using her name all over the place, which causes her problems. Why does she say you keep doing that?
Cassandra might have just said something out of the way, but Cassandra know I don't keep using her name. She know.
Okay.
My sister don't. She probably misunderstood Cassandra. I don't keep doing this.
Did you misunderstand Cassandra when you talked to her, Jennifer?
I don't believe I did, Your Honor.
Okay.
Lord, please,
I don't know how I reconcile all that you've told me, because what you've told me is
Well,
that on the theft from Walmart in 23, it wasn't really your fault.
I didn't say that. I said I had a.
On the robbery and the drug possession in Cuyahoga, it wasn't, you really didn't do anything. And in this case, you didn't do anything wrong either. It was just, I don't know what it was. All I know is you pled guilty to something now that you're telling everybody you didn't do.
It was God.
Huh?
I think it was God getting me out of the way, steering me back in the right place. It was God that took me back.
If you were, why would he have to steer you in the right place?
Because I broke off.
Listen, you're sitting in the car. Cassandra and her boyfriend go to Walmart. You're sitting in the car, and what you're telling me is you wanted to go into the bathroom, then you wanted to find them because they were taking too long. You met them in the aisle. They gave you the bags. You took out the bags. You got arrested. They disappeared. You got drugs in your shoe, a pipe in the purse.
It wasn't a pipe, Your Honor.
And then you use Cassandra's name. So if you were, presumably, you telling me all that meant you were in the right place to begin with, because you were just going along for the ride to Walmart.
No, they picked me up.
Okay, they picked you up. That's fine.
Yes.
Okay, they picked you up, but you weren't doing anything wrong, so you were already in the right place. You didn't do anything wrong in Cuyahoga, you were already in the right place. Why would God have to steer you to the right place?
Because like I say, I hold responsibility for it. It's not what it seemed to be. It's not the way they wrote it. Things are, it's not how it happened. It's not the way they wrote it. It's not how it really happened. I don't.
That's the
I don't
common
know
theme
what to
with
say.
you, though.
I don't know how to put it. But
Well,
like I said, it happened. It happened.
Right, but what you're telling me is these things keep happening to you, and none of it is any of your fault or
It's my fault, Your Honor.
responsibility.
It's my fault.
Okay.
It's my fault. I hold full responsibility for my actions. It's my fault.
Ms. Gold?
Thank you, Your Honor. It is the state's position that the defendant is not amenable to community control sanctions, and the state is asking for a prison sentence.
Oh, no. No.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report,
No.
and I have listened to Ms. Harris, listened to counsel.
No.
Ms. Harris doesn't take responsibility for anything.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
She doesn't acknowledge doing anything wrong,
Please don't.
either in this case or in the Cuyahoga case.
Please don't do this,
The
please.
pre-sentence report reflects, and this
Please
is all
don't do this
Alabama,
for me.
a 94 conviction for larceny, 96 for theft of property, 99 for theft of property, 99 negotiating worthless instrument.
Oh, that's my past.
I know it's your past. I'm going
I've
over your
got
past.
past that. Please don't come from where I
Theft
come
of
from.
property in '04, fraudulent use of credit card, theft of property in '04, fraudulent use of a credit card, theft, shoplifting in '05, '05, theft of property, criminal possession, forged instrument, domestic violence, '05, criminal possession, forged instrument, '06, theft of property, '07, theft of property, '09, criminal possession of a forged instrument. And we get to Ohio. I don't know what happened. You were in Alabama. I don't know what happened in Alabama between 9 and when you came here, but in 23 you got a theft out of this Walmart. Then in 25, you got a robbery and a drug possession and a falsification, and then you've got this thing. So this seems to be a long-standing issue for you, that you,
I'm gonna die in jail, please don't do this.
that
Don't
that
do
you
this. Don't do this.
steal from people and use your sister's name apparently quite a bit. So I'm gonna find you're not amenable to community control, and I'm gonna sentence you on each of these counts to 12 months in prison with credit for 71 days. Those sentences, those counts will be concurrent to one another. When you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority.
I'm gonna die in
If you
jail,
are
man. I'm gonna die.
placed on post-release control, and violate any conditions, a parole authority could return you to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If the violation is a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation, the maximum of which is the greater of 12 months, or the time left under post-release control. The costs are assessed, the remaining counts are dismissed. Anything else?
Forfeiture, Your Honor.
Forfeiture. Anything else, Mr. Matthews?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Means you too.
I'm just hanging for a second. Okay. I wanted to see if she tried to do anything dumb. Good morning once again, everybody. TCF Live on a spirited Wednesday. That hearing had a little bit of everything, didn't it? From thefts to racisms to convoluted stories to crying to more crying. All right. Fun way to start the day, I guess. Not for her. I shake my head when I see people like that, because I hope and I pray every day that people will be better, that people will do better. Maybe she'll get things turned around. We can keep our fingers crossed. You know, there comes a point where an explanation stops helping and starts making things worse, and I think Judge O'Donnell clearly thought that's what happened here. But I'm curious what you think, so let me know down in the comments before you go. And if you enjoyed this video, don't go at all. Stick around and watch one of the two that are on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching.